What's up guys, Greg Rapaport here, and today we're going to be taking a look at a new plugin from Neural DSP called the Archetype for Plini. My signal chain today is going to be my Kiesel VM8 stock lithium pickups into my very humble Steinberg audio interface into Studio One version 4. This plugin comes with 3 amplifiers, a clean amplifier, which is more than likely based on Fender or Roland, and we have the medium gain amplifier, and then we have a higher gain amplifier. Sounds kind of more like a 5150 to me. So the first amp we're going to take a look at is the clean amplifier, and right now I have all the controls set on noon. You have the controls at the top of the plugin. You have your input, you have gate, mode, stereo or mono, oversampling, high or normal. Over here you can load the factory presets, or you can save your own, and you have your output here. The controls on the amplifier itself, you have gain, bright, bass, mid, treble, master, presence, and standby and on-off. So let's take a listen with all the controls at noon. I'm going to be one pickup back, or one selector back from my bridge pickup. So split coil. Sounds nice. So what I would do is I would probably take some of the bass off for me, a little mid, a little treble, and a little bit of presence. It's nice and round. Let's go to the neck pickup. So now we move on to the next icon at the top here, which is a graphic EQ to further tailor your sound. Then we move on to the cabinet simulation. So here you have 2 mic'd cones here in this cabinet, and you have on each side the ability to move the mic farther or closer to the cone, or also farther or closer to the speaker itself. So all axes of movement are available. So pretty comprehensive stuff. You're able to pick your own microphone from, you have 6 available here. It looks like you have 3 dynamics, 1 condenser and 2 ribbons. So you have that choice on each side here, so you can mix and match. Again, very comprehensive. And then from here, you move on to the time-based effects, which is very cool. So we have the delay pedal first. You can see the controls are fairly standard. We have dry wet, we have sync, ping pong, modulate, feedback, tape saturation, tempo, time and tone, engage, and tap tempo. So let's check out the engage real quick. Let's pop this on. Very nice. So these controls are fairly standard. Like I said, you can change the tone of your delays. You can hear it's a lot brighter, a little bit darker. As far as the time, you have the standard 1/8 triplet, 1/8 triplet, quarter note triplet, so on and so forth as you go through these different selections. And you have the amount of feedback, how long it's going to last, etc., etc. So next up is we have the reverb. Controls are fairly standard. We have dry and wet, space, time, and you have a low pass and a high pass filter as well. So we have engage. It sounds something like this. Neck. Sounds great. Now these high pass and low pass filters, what they do is essentially they let the reverb interact with a certain frequency range. So I like it when the reverb acts on the higher frequency range, not so much the lower. You can hear when it reacts with the lower, the sound gets a little bit washed out, a little bit muddy. So I like it when it reacts with the higher. Also, you have the compressor. And you can hear when I engage the compressor, you get a nice boost while still remaining pretty transparent. Also evens out your playing a little bit. So now we move on to the mid-gain amplifier. Turn everything off. So this amplifier can give you that classic rock type tone. So again, all my controls are on noon. So I'm gonna flick this bright switch on, drop a little bit of the bass, a little bit of mids, up the presence a little bit. See what this sounds like. So you get that nice mid-breakup type sound. Again, you have your own 9-band graphic EQ with this amp. Speakers as well, speaker simulation, cabinet simulation. And you have your effects. So we can put on a little reverb, see how this sounds. Very reactive. Now what we can do also is I'm going to take this reverb off, move back over here, and I'm going to put the compressor on. And also we're going to try out this overdrive. Overdrive has the typical controls: drive, tone, and level. Bring that drive up a little bit. Turn the master down just a little. Put the gain up just a little bit over here. So now we can switch over to kind of maybe do a little bit of soloing here. We could put the delay on. A little bit of reverb. Maybe a little too much reverb. Too wet. There we go. It's a lot of effect. Alright, so that's the mid-gain amp, and now we're going to move on to the last amp, which is the high-gain amp. Based loosely on probably 5150 or something like that. Right now I have all the controls at noon. Going to be using my bridge pickup. No effects, nothing, just raw amp. Let's check it out. So for me, I need less bass for sure. Dial that down, a little more mids. Maybe a bit more presence. A little less gain. See how that sounds. Now we kick on the overdrive. Let's take a look at some of the controls on the amplifier. Pretty much standard like the other ones. You have gain, bass, mid, treble, master, presence. You have standby and power. Also have a bright switch here. Now if we were to move over to some of the, actually take a look at the EQ first. If I was going to go for a lead tone on this, what I could do is switch on a little bit of delay, maybe a little bit of reverb, and I may have to bring the gain down just a little bit. Yes, bring the output down a little bit as well. So to wrap up, we have clean amp, mid gain, and high gain, compressor and overdrive, 9-band graphic EQ, speaker simulation, 2 mics, mix and match as you like, and delay and reverb. So it's a great package. I recommend it. Take care. We'll talk to you soon.